Hi everyone, I have a quick Friday update for you with lots of random things. The first is I just want to make you aware of an incident that happened in with a COVID patient heading down to CT scan. We were transferring the patient from the bed to the CT bed, and without thinking, somebody just kind of disconnected the ventilator circuit to get it around something that was in the way. Which is something that we completely do on autopilot. That's normally something that would kind of get our patient moved over quickly and easily. But I want to bring it to your attention when we're transporting COVID patients to just be mindful of that kind of thing, because that does aerosolize in the room and then puts everybody at a little bit higher risk. So just something to be made aware of. The other thing is that somebody brought to my attention that we may have been using fans in the crown unit for some COVID patients. I don't know if this really happened or not, but at any rate, fans are probably not a good idea. I think we normally don't use fans, but if we kind of sneak one in for a patient who's feeling really uncomfortable, that used to be okay. But with our COVID patients, I think it also is something that just puts us at a little bit high risk of stirring things up a little too much. So probably let's go with no fans in the COVID unit. I also just wanted to remind everybody that the time change is happening this weekend. It's fall back, so just be mindful of that. Glucometers, especially down in the crown unit, seem to be easily misplaced. So the nurses working down there this past week said that they had some difficulty finding glucometers because they're being left in patient rooms and have to get on all the gear to go in and get the glucometer. So just whenever you're using a glucometer, please make sure it gets back to the docking station. There is a change happening to the way we're admitting patients. There's nothing different that you need to do, but you just want to be aware that for asymptomatic patients, we are no longer doing the antigen testing. We will still do antigen testing on patients who are showing signs of COVID, but we're not doing the antigen testing on all patients coming in through the ER. And the reason is because there's a problem with the testing, and we're finding that we have a very high, extremely high rate of false positives. And so the test is not accurate, and so we're stopping that, but we're still going to use that test and the PCR test, which is accurate, for all symptomatic patients coming through. So just to be aware, there's nothing different that you need to do, but you will see that there are some patients coming through who are not tested now. And then finally, the last thing I needed to let you know is that I am going to be out on PTO next week, returning on Monday, November 9th. So if you have any concerns or anything that you need to talk about, please bring them to Alicia if she's here during the daytime, or our house supervisor at night. And that's all that I have for you guys. Have a wonderful week.